now. Okay, so the question was differentiating antigen versus pathogen. So let's title our video that. What in the Sam Hill was that? There we go. And this is actually an intrinsically confusing topic or idea. So I'm going to bet that once other students sort of start delving into this material, they'll be confused about it as well. So I'm really glad you asked this question, Nicole, because typically if one student has a question, other students probably have that same question. Oh, that's a terrible circle. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, you're not missing anything at all. This is just a tricky thing to figure out, especially since, as you very correctly pointed out, you get introduced to the idea of antigens when we start to do blood typing, which is kind of a weird way to intro that topic, honestly. So it makes sense that people would be a little bit fuzzy about this topic. Okay, so I have my Venn diagram set up. The pleasant turquoise circle represents non-harmful or self. By self, I mean your body's cells have little name tags that say, hey, I belong to Christina's body. Please do not attack me. I'm supposed to be here. It's like having a name badge at work that identifies you as being an employee. So it gives your cells an indicator of belonging, essentially. And then over here I have harmful, which is just anything that harms your body, right? And so there are a lot of antigens that are not harmful, and they might belong to yourself. So for example, here's some familiar ones. So those are familiar to you by now because those are involved in blood typing. If you've gotten a little bit more into the immune system chapter, you might recognize this abbreviation as well, major histocompatibility complex. This is a protein that sits on the cell membrane that indicates the belonging of a cell. So all of the things here so the middle zone and the blue zone include proteins or other chemicals that are recognized by the immune system. So let's fill in the middle bubble here. So things that are harmful and are recognized are some pathogens. So not every pathogen is able to be recognized by the immune system, but some are, especially ones you've had before. So that could be getting reinfected with the flu within a flu season. So let's say you're unlucky enough to get the flu during one flu season, and then later, maybe at work or at school, you're re-exposed to the same flu virus. You won't get sick the second time because your immune system will have remembered it. But that's still a pathogen because pathogens are, I'm going to add to my drawing here, harmful antigens. So there's a little bit of overlap here where antigen really just means things that immune system recognizes. And pathogen is harmful one. So one thing that I notice students doing when they talk about the immune system is to use these two terms imprecisely. And as you all know, because I know that you know, I care a lot about precision of language because it's a technical skill that you'll need later. And also it's just like a pet peeve of mine, let's be honest. But also the more you talk about something and you use a word incorrectly, the more likely you are to memorize an incorrect form or usage of that word. And that sets you up to not do as well in exams. So that's why I want you to be careful about this. So there's this value judgment that students tend to make where they kind of blend these two terms until antigen comes to mean something harmful in their mind. It has a negative connotation. And I've seen students misinterpret exam questions because they have this negative association with the word antigen in their mind. And it creates a problem where they fail to recognize that antigens can be neutral, and many are, and then they answer a question wrong. So I don't want that to happen to you.
Can I ask a clarifying question on that, please?
Absolutely, go ahead.
So would it be accurate then to say that all pathogens are antigens, but not all antigens are pathogens? I'm trying to figure out if it's really a nesting or a hierarchy.
Good question. No, not all pathogens are antigenic, meaning there are things that can get inside of your body that do not end up being recognized by the immune system because they kind of are outside of the immune system's detection ability. So they would not be considered antigenic because although harmful, they are not eliciting an immune response. And that's actually a big danger zone, right? So if something's inside of your body doing it damage and your immune system assumes it's, you know, business as usual, that's when you can get in real physiological trouble. So for example, some toxins or poisons, venoms, some of them. And this is a scary one. Infectious prions. If you don't know what those are, these are, well, an example of a prion that probably most people are aware of is mad cow disease. Infectious prions are misfolded proteins that when they bump into another protein cause that protein to misfold too. And they're not antigenic because the immune system does not recognize them, which is why they are dangerous and cause illness. And so in humans, what that looks like is a brain protein that is folded wrong goes around in your brain and bumps into other brain proteins and causes them to fold wrong as well, which creates plaques of these unusual proteins that block your synapses and cause cognitive dysfunction and eventually death. But because they're just a protein and they're just misfolded, for the most part, prions are not recognized by the immune system, which makes them very dangerous.
That's a great example. Can I just see if it clarified it for me?
Absolutely.
All pathogens are harmful, but not all pathogens have antigenic response.
Perfect. It's succinct. It encompasses the idea. I could not love that more. Yes, okay. You've got it. So that is the difference between antigens and pathogens. Thank you for allowing me to clarify that so that other students can benefit from that information.